So, back at it again at the Guardian farm. Let's see how this thing works, by the way, the squid farm. It's okay. I get some squid, and it's not super efficient. I don't know why, but... I get some squid ink at least, but a lot of AFKing needs to be done in order to get large quantities of ink sacs. Yay. Not yay, actually, that's kind of boring. I wish I could make a more efficient squid farm, but it is what it is. Anyways, in today's episode, we're going to do something very, very exciting. I'm going to do not an auto crafting system, because you can't make auto crafting in Minecraft. You still need to have a player actually crafting the stuff. But I'm going to make the next best thing, I would say, which is trying to make crafting as convenient as possible. And my idea is, and I've tested this in a creative world, so I already know that this will work, but hey ho, let me explain to you what's going to happen. I'm going to have predefined recipes. I'm also going to have a manual input where you can just put in whatever you want and craft it. We will get to that eventually. But I will have predefined recipes for the stuff you can craft from a Guardian farm, which are those 4 blocks. And the idea is, first of all, this is going to be set up to craft 1 shulker box at a time. So it's for bulk crafting. Because with an efficient farm like this, there's really no point crafting 1 stack of sea lanterns. You might as well craft up a whole shulker box. So the idea is, if you, for example, want to do, let's say sea lanterns, you grab a sea lantern, you place it in this chest, and then you push the button, and this machine will start working, and you will go into a room that will be a little bit off to the side here-ish. And everything you need to craft 1 stack of sea lanterns will be delivered to you. So you could just stand inside of a crafting table. That's not a crafting table, but you get the idea. And then you just click on the book, click on the, or shift click out. Click on the book, shift click out, and so on. And you just also drop everything on the ground, and it will go down underneath into a shulker box loader, and you will get a full shulker box of, in this case, sea lanterns. And how does one build a contraption like this? We can keep the sea lantern in there for now. So first of all, you need to figure out what the recipes are for these things. And we start simple and go to more complicated. Let's sort these a little bit. Prismarine. That's 4 prismarine shards for 1 prismarine. So in order to make a shulker box of prismarine, you need 4 shulker boxes of shards. Easy. Prismarine bricks is just 9 shards. So 9 shulker boxes gives you 1 shulker box of bricks. Sea lanterns. You want 4 shards and 5 crystals. So it gets a little bit more complicated, but yeah. And dark prismarine is 8 shards and 1 black dye. Which kinda sucks, because then that means you have to convert the insects into black dye before you can actually put them in the system here, but yeah. So the way to get the right amount of stuff is as follows. When I push the button here, I will show this off later. I put in some lights so we can actually see what's going on. But we have a sea lantern here. We push the button. that button will turn off this torch for a short while. So one item gets taken out of this chest here, which means you can actually put more than one in here, and it will give you enough stuff to craft one shulker box at a time. But when the first shulker box is done, it will automatically grab the next item and send you a new batch of stuff to craft more things. But hey ho. Item gets taken over to here, over a couple of item filters, where we check what item it actually is that you want to craft. In this case, sea lantern, which means this will get to signal strength 3, because that's how item filters work. We will send a pulse through with this repeater into this block here and go into spectator mode, because now it gets complicated. This signal will turn on. It will activate this monostable. This signal goes into here. It will send a pulse this way, which will activate this contraption. We will look at that a little bit later. And it will also send a pulse this way to activate this contraption, which is very close in design to this one. It's actually the same. And what these things does is it's a counter. So in here, in this dropper, we define how many times this contraption will pulse. So this is set up to 5, and this is set up to 4. And when this gives a pulse into here, it also sends a pulse into here, which is a dropper, which will send an item through this hopper line and just loop back in. And every time it sends an item past this hopper, it will take an output that will eventually activate another dropper that will give us one shulker box of crystals in this case, because this is 5 and we want 5 crystals for our crafting recipe. And yeah, when it goes through, it will pulse the dropper, giving us a shulker box. It will also send a pulse back into here, which will just pulse this again. And it will send a pulse back here into this dropper. And every time this dropper gets a signal, it will send one item over into this dropper. And when this hopper, when this dropper here is empty, this piston will retract. This will reset, so the items that are in the hopper will go back into the dropper, and the pulsing will stop. So you will get 5 shulker boxes each and every time, very, very reliably. And the same goes for this one. It functions exactly the same, but in this case we have 4, because we want 4 shulker boxes of shards, and we want 5 shulker boxes of crystals. So this here will send a signal into our shard storage. This will send a signal to our crystal storage. And the same way we have this one is set up for 8. So this will give 8 boxes of shards. And this will give us 9 boxes of shards. If we look at the next filter is regular prismarine. It will go through here, over to here. It will go down to here and into this one. And that will once again give us 4 shulker boxes of shards. Sorry. This will also do another thing. It sends a signal over here. No. that's not where it sends the signal. This is confusing for me as well, and I just built this. Oh, it goes out here, and it will send a signal down here and over to here. And stuff will happen here eventually. But that's for the next step, or actually the last step in this video, but hey ho. Next we have dark prismarine. Dark prismarine will go into here. And what will it do? It powers this line, which goes into this block. There needs to be redstone on that. Good thing I spotted that. It will send a signal all the way over to here into our 8 counter, and it will also send a signal over to here, which will be for our black dye. So it just gives us 1 box of black dye. Yay! And finally, prismarine bricks will just send a signal, blah 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 blah, all the way over to here. Yay! And give us 9 boxes of shards. So let's try this. And because we have a sea lantern here, what will happen when I push the button is the first light will not do anything. The second light will blink 5 times. The third light will blink 4 times. And then the next 2 will not do anything. Let's try this. I hope this works. I haven't tested this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the last, or on the first one there. It worked! And our prismarine we put, or our sea lantern we put in here, goes back up into the storage. So it just loops around and through an item elevator up here. Yay! Things are starting to look a little bit more complicated now. They are not. They are super easy still. Very, very easy. So, what have I added in since the last time? We have our counters and stuff that I showed in the previous clip. Down here. Above that, we have our shulker box unloaders. So, when the counters decide how many shulker boxes we're going to need of each item, they will come up to a contraption I will build above this. So I'm building it slightly in a different order than what the items will take, but it all will make sense. Eventually, shulker boxes will end up here into dispenser. They will get dispensed. Underneath here we have a 4-way item splitter that will split the items in the shulker box equally between 4 different outputs. They go into droppers. We have a dropper here and a dropper here. So we have 2 inputs into each dropper, and these will just start spitting items out in a very rapid pace, landing in this water here. And then on a clock, which we have here, it's just a simple pulse extender clock thingy. These pistons will extend, pushing the items that land here out in the water stream. And it will go here, and hopefully by the time the items get to here, this will extend. So hopefully I got the timing right. We'll see. And it will go out here, and then this will join, and this will join, and eventually it goes around here, 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 into a little item elevator, up a couple of blocks, and around here. And the items should line up in that corner between the concrete and the crafting table. And what that means is, if we stand here, we can pick those items up through the corner here, because they will line up in basically here. And if we stand in the corner here, we will pick them up. So we could just stand here, have our crafting book up, and as soon as we pick up items, we just click, click. And everything is fine. So, I think I'm actually done here. That's quite a mess. Let me try to explain the last things I've added. We saw the spitty outy into water streamy bits here. Up top, we have the shulker box distribution, which works as follows. Look down here. We have, we saw when we tested the counters and stuff, I've replaced those lights I had here with droppers full of shulker boxes. This is crystals, this is shards, and we're going to have black dye in this, but I don't have any black dye at the moment. Yes. So, shulker boxes gets shot out into water stream. It goes up elevator, blip, 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 up here, whoop, around the corner, into this chest here, and into this dropper here eventually. And what this does is it spits out it spits out the shulker boxes, but on a very, very slow clock. So when the first shulker box comes out, it will get picked up by the first hopper. When it gets picked up by this hopper here, we have a comparator reading that, which will power this here redstone dust, which will power that block, which will lock that hopper, which means the second box that comes out gets picked up by the second one, and so on and so on and so on, until all 9 are full. And at the same time as we lock the hopper, we also unpower this torch on the back here. You see there's a torch on each and every single one of these. And when all of these are out, these 2 lines will turn off, this line will turn off, and this torch will turn on. And when that turns on, we send a signal through this whole contraption or array of blocks, which will all power the droppers. So you see we have here, we take the signal out to power those 2 droppers. Here we take the signal, power those 2, and so on. So once we have 9 shulker boxes in the system here, they all get spat out into their respective water stream and gets picked up by these dispensers, ready to start crafting. Yay! Simple. Yeah, and we looked at the other things that are going to happen as well. We push the start button, we start dispensing and emptying out boxes. Down here by the crafting station, I've added in, I need to add a start button there. Haven't done that yet. But I added in, we have a hopper minecart underneath the block you're standing on when you're crafting, and gets picked up by, so the things you throw on the floor gets picked up by this hopper minecart, which gets picked up by this hopper minecart, which distributes the items into 4 different hopper lines going into droppers that will go into shulker box here. So a 4 hopper speed shulker box loader is what we will have. When the shulker box is full, it comes down here into this hopper line, blip, 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 into an item elevator, and end up here in this output chest. Simple? Very simple. It's not super complicated, but hey ho. What else do we have? We also have a chest here, because when the shulker boxes get emptied out, they will also be sent through this item stream. I have this chest here, so you could just put the empty shulker boxes into this chest here. And if you want to send them into the nether or back, so into the loader of the farm, which is probably where they are going, you can push this button here. I've done it this way so you don't automatically send them in case you want to like keep empty shulker boxes for whatever reason. But if you push this button, stuff will happen. Shulker boxes will go into dropper, drop down into water stream, drop into this water stream, go around and get shot through the portal. And they get picked up on the other side. Simple. Yes. That part is actually pretty simple. I also color coded things. I think that looks cool. So blue is basically... What's blue? Input from farm. Or what has to do with the farm itself is blue. Also the counters are blue for some reason. It probably should have been a different color. We have the magenta is the intermediate state, so when you empty out the shulker boxes, that circuit is magenta. We have the lime green is the shulker box distribution, and also the end station. I don't know. Kind of makes sense. But we still have the red that we haven't talked about. Oh, also, I forgot. Remember there was a line over here? That just stopped. Yes. No, you don't remember. Or do you? Huh. This now powers a piston. So that's when we choose to craft regular prismarine. Because that only takes up 4 slots in the crafting grid. So we can't wait until we have 9 shulker boxes up there before we eject them. So what this does is it goes up, it powers this RS NOR latch, which will retract this piston, which will negate these 5 inputs, which means that we only need to have boxes in the first 4 droppers before we can actually, or before we activate this. And also at the same time as we activate the droppers, we take a line out from here that goes into here, which will reset this RS NOR latch. So basically it is just an item. We move that item over to there. And then when we power this, the item goes from there to there again. So it's not a very complicated circuit. Yes, I also added in from our shulker box sorter. The boxes just go into water streams straight away and into the correct storage. Still need to add in something for the ink sacks. Need to think about that. But the red glass here is manual input. And what that means is you can put whatever recipe you want into the system. So let's say you want to craft pistons. You put 4 shulker boxes of cobble, 3 shulker boxes of what's it called? Planks. 1 shulker box of iron and 1 shulker box of redstone dust. Into here, you push the button, it goes up into the item distribution here and activates this red circuit that I actually don't fully remember how it works. But it's basically, it will activate this, and no matter what we have here, when when the dropper here is empty, so you can put something with like 8 slots or 3 slots or whatever into this. When this is empty, it will just activate the droppers here, dropping them out. So whatever recipe you put in, it will work. I hope. I haven't actually tested any of this, but should we test this? This light here let's go into spectator again. This light here will turn, no, not this light, this light. That light will turn on when there's stuff ready to, so you're ready to start crafting. This light will turn on when everything is okay. And by everything is okay, I mean when there's shulker boxes here, so there's something to actually load stuff into that you craft. Now there is one box here waiting, and there's also boxes in the dropper. And also you need to have something in all of these droppers. Like this. And at the moment we don't have anything in the black dye box, which means we can't actually start the machine. So I'm just gonna cheat the system a little bit. Because that's the easiest thing to do. Boop. And now everything should be okay. Yes, light is on. So should we try and craft something? I say yes. I'm also going to, let's make sea lanterns because they are useful. So, remember how this works. We put one sea lantern in here. That means one shulker box of sea lantern-y stuff. And I'm gonna push the button and I'm gonna go into spectator mode so you can actually see what's happening. So, we do that. We're gonna count out 5 boxes of crystals, 4 boxes of shards. They are going to send up to there to get distributed through the droppers. They are going to be spat out into the unloaders, and then this light will turn on. And when that turns on, we can push this button and start crafting. You ready? Okay. Let's see here what happens. There was boxes. What happens up here? We have 3. We have 4. We have 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. And they all get ejected. And the light turned on. So far, so good. Let's push the button and I will quickly fly into there so you can actually see what's happening. Like so. And we start throwing stuff on the ground. And... come on. There we go. We will start getting stuff here. So let's go in here. Oh. So you stand here, you wait, you craft, you throw out. You can barely hear the clicking. And there we go. And we have a shulker box full of sea lanterns. Everything worked. Yay! I'm happy now. I'm happy now. Yeah, so it's quite a complex machine, this, but I think it's actually very, very nice. I do like this a lot. It will be nice, and yeah. I don't know why I said and, but it will be nice. Go back into regular mode. Yeah, so this is a successful success so far. Let's, before I forget it, go down and activate this thing. Also, when this is activated, you can't actually start crafting. It's a bit of a fail-safe thingamabob. Just to make sure that you actually have stuff to craft before you start crafting. Yay. Anywho, I hope you liked this episode. This is very technical. I do understand that. But I hope you enjoyed it still. And all of that. And like, subscribe, and comment, and all of that. And I will leave you with this nice view here. Okay. See you next time. Bye.